Picture two snapshots of the same wild soul. On the left, a grainy 1970 press photo shows a skinny 21-year-old from Birmingham clutching a crucifix as Black Sabbath's first record storms the UK charts. On the right, a picture taken during his final police-style interrogation captures the instant he realized it was over. Eyes sunken but still glinting mischief, the permanent rocker's smirk frozen in mid-defiance. In the 55 rollicking years between those images, John Michael Ozzy Osbourne turned factory grit into global thunder, survived rabid bats, lawsuits, reality TV chaos, near paralysis, and finally Parkinson's. On July 22, 25, the man who once bragged he could outscream any amplifier slipped away at 76, surrounded by family in Buckinghamshire. Yet, even in death, he cranked the cultural volume one more notch. Streams spiked 400% overnight. Birmingham Cathedral tolled its bells. Fans left hand-carved wooden bats at the Osbourne gate. Today we chase every riff of that life, from a 6-week prison stint to a farewell throne in Villa Park, and ask how the Prince of Darkness turned pure chaos into the loudest love letter heavy metal ever received. Birmingham, 1948. Lillian and Jack Osbourne's cramped 2-bedroom house at 14 Lodge Road shook each dawn as the machines at Lucas's factory fired up. Dyslexic, badly bullied, and nicknamed Ozzy, young John Michael found escape in Beatles singles blasting from a neighbor's radio. At 15, he lifted a few shirts from a clothing shop, couldn't pay the fine, and spent 6 weeks in Winson Green prison. His first taste of confinement, and later proved to fans that metal's future pope had served time with the devil. 3 years later, he joined guitarist Tony Iommi, bassist Geezer Butler, and drummer Bill Ward to form Black Sabbath. Their 1969 self-titled song opened with church bells, thunder, and a tritone riff the BBC once called audio brimstone. The band's 1970 debut went platinum. Church groups hurled Bibles at stages, inadvertently turbocharging their legend. By 1978, Sabbath had sold 30 million records, but also racked up mountains of cocaine, barrels of vodka, and nights Ozzy forgot even as they happened. Management finally booted him in 1979, claiming he took more drugs than the rest of us combined. A feat in the Guinness Book of Metal, if such existed. But Ozzy would rise solo, on a board-shredding crazy train that no one, least of all industry execs, saw coming. Sharon Arden, daughter of notorious manager Don Arden, rescued Ozzy from a 10-day beer binge in a seedy West Hollywood hotel and assembled a new band featuring guitar prodigy Randy Rhoads. Blizzard of Oz, 1980, introduced Mr. Crowley and Crazy Train, selling 4 million copies and kick-starting the modern shred guitar era. But headlines shifted from fretwork to shock factor on January 20, 1982 in Des Moines, Iowa, when a fan lobbed a live bat on stage. Thinking it rubber, Ozzy chomped down, the bat bit back, doctors administered 21 anti-rabies injections, and American PTA groups gained a fresh boogeyman. The decade became a carousel of chaos. Lawsuits over the song Suicide Solution, a Dove decapitating incident at a CBS Records meeting, an Alamo site urination arrest in a borrowed dress, and the tragic 1982 plane crash that killed Rhoads. Sharon doubled as crisis control commander, steering Ozfest into a $100 million brand while keeping tour buses stocked with orange juice instead of Jack Daniels, at least some of the time. Just when moral guardians thought they'd pin down the devil, MTV handed him a new mask. Lovable reality show dad. In 2002, MTV viewers expecting another real-world clone instead met a bathrobe-wearing Ozzy, fumbling with TV remotes, dodging his chihuahua's accidents, and muttering, "Sharon," so often it became a ringtone. The Osbournes crushed Monday night ratings, even outdrawing Friends reruns. Daughter Kelly launched a pop career, son Jack battled addiction on camera, and oldest child Amy pointedly moved out. Ozzy's secret stipulation, revealed later, every emotional scene must include one of the family's dogs to soften the blows. The show humanized metal's boogeyman, earning an Emmy and boosting Sabbath catalog sales 60%. The fame wave peaked at the 2006 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, where Ozzy cracked, "I'd thank Satan, but I don't think he's taking calls today." Yet behind the laughter, alcohol relapses and prescription pill dependency simmered, setting up a painful final act. Because as the volume of cheers grew, so did the toll on a body already bruised by 5 decades of living louder than life. A 2019 ATV crash on his LA estate shattered vertebrae in Ozzy's neck, forcing 3 spinal surgeries and a metal rod that rendered ordinary headbanging lethal. In January 2020, he went on Good Morning America to reveal a Parkinson's 2 diagnosis, first detected in 2003 but hidden behind on-again, off-again tremors. Fans feared the end when the 2023 Ozzfest tour was canceled. Ozzy admitted, "My body is telling me I can't roam the planet 300 nights a year." Still, he vowed one last hometown gig, even if it meant performing seated on a custom-built Gothic throne. Neurologists cautioned against travel. Ozzy fired back, "I came from Aston. I leave from Aston." Sharon pitched a benefit show, Back to the Beginning, with profits earmarked for Parkinson's research. Tickets sold out in 14 minutes, and so, cane in one hand, microphone in the other, he returned to the heart of England for metal's most emotional swan song. On July 5, 2025, 45,000 fans flooded Birmingham's Villa Park for a day-long metal pilgrimage. Thunderclouds burst as Ozzy, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward took the stage together for the first time since 2005. Ozzy, cloaked in a midnight blue robe, sat on a black velvet throne, fitted with medical supports and laser cannons, his idea naturally. He belted War Pigs, let the crowd sing half of Iron Man, then cracked a final joke. "I'd stand up to salute you, but the doctors would kill me before the Parkinson's does." Backstage, he told Iommi, "If I go tonight, I'll go happy." 17 days later, in the early hours of July 22, Ozzy passed away, peacefully and surrounded by love, according to a family statement released by Sharon and children Jack, Kelly, and Amy. Doctors cited Parkinson's complications compounded by chronic spinal infections. News flashed at 7 a.m. Metal forums crashed under traffic. Spotify pushed a "This is Ozzy Osbourne" playlist to 80 million users. But even death couldn't lower the volume. Tributes thundered in from every corner of music and pop culture. Metallica tweeted simply, "No more tears. Thank you, Ozzy." Billy Joe Armstrong called him the king who gave freaks like us a throne. Actor Adam Sandler posted a Little Nicky still of Ozzy's cameo biting a CGI Bat villain, writing, "You changed my life and every playlist I ever made." Birmingham Cathedral rang its bells 13 times, one for each Sabbath studio album, with Ozzy on vocals. In Aston, street artist Mr. Murals added angel wings and a halo to his pre-concert mural overnight. By morning, fans had covered it in thousands of Sharpie messages. Parkinson's UK issued a statement thanking Ozzy for dragging a stigmatized disease into the spotlight with humor and unflinching honesty. Meanwhile, 2 televangelists dusted off 1980s satanic panic sermons, but even they conceded the hymnals now list Crazy Train under modern classics. Tributes will fade, but the riffs and the blueprint he drafted for every metal band after him will pulse forever. Across 55 years, Ozzy shifted 100 million albums, invented doom metal's sonic palette, and reshaped concert economics through Ozzfest's carnival model. He turned his own chaos into an empire, merchandise, NFTs, documentary rights, yet also donated millions to cancer charities and Parkinson's labs. Musically, his vowel stretch howl inspired generations from Metallica's James Hetfield to Slipknot's Corey Taylor. Culturally, his MTV pratfalls proved heavy artists could rule mainstream TV without diluting a drop of darkness. Ozzy's contradictions fuel his immortality. The bat-biting ghoul who wept over puppies, the man called Satan's vocalist who recorded Christmas covers, the addict who at Sharon's insistence became a sobriety sponsor to younger bands. As Tony Iommi told The Guardian, "There was never a plan with Oz. The madness was the method." Arenas, Ozzy Osbourne forged music's loudest fairy tale, a delinquent who rewrote metal's DNA, terrorized tabloids, then invited them into his living room for tea while his dogs peed on the carpet. He didn't tame chaos, he harvested it, sculpted it into riffs, and blasted it back at a world that tried to hush him. Now the stage lights dim, but every time a bar band slams an ominous minor third or a teenager scrawls a bat on a backpack, Ozzy winks in the echo. Drop your wildest Ozzy memory in the comments. Maybe you caught a piece of Batwing, maybe you just sang Paranoid too loud in your car. Smash that like button, ring the bell, and keep your amps on standby. Because rock legends never really die, they just crank the volume beyond human hearing, and somewhere out there, the Prince of Darkness is still laughing at the feedback.